Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. We are live once again with another live match preview. We had to move on quick from the Chelsea victory of yesterday. We got, of course, Gary with his outfit. We got. I was going to dress up, man, but I had so many things going on before the show. It's unbelievable. So I couldn't do it. I have my Beetlejuice wig somewhere around here, but I don't know if I can find it. We had to get an Arsenal fan to come on and have a discussion with us about their team, and didn't it just messaged so many. But I got so many messages going on at once, and Lee Judges messaged me just in time. He works for AFTV. He's very opinionated when it comes to Arsenal Football Club, and he's going to be joining us pretty soon, probably 15 minutes from now or so. So we're going to have a good discussion about what the matchup entails on Saturday. So smash the like button, subscribe, do what you need to do, become a member if you can. You can super chat us, help us, fund the channel. Hit the dollar sign, and you can donate that way. Highlight your comment, or become a member, or gift a membership if you want to. We got Gary, we got Tim here. Hi, how's it going, folks? All good?
Very good. Yeah,
Good man.
busy with Halloween and stuff like that with the kids. So
Yeah,
apologies, like
man.
I say, if you hear the dog barking in the background.
No, no,
This
you're good.
carries on until around about 10 p.m. UK time for us. So
Yeah,
again, trick
Halloween,
or
man.
treat
It's
us. Yeah.
Halloween. Tim, you celebrate Halloween, man? You go when you were a little
Not
kid?
really myself, but it's died down now. Like where I am, got some
Yeah.
earlier, but it's
Okay, no,
quiet
no.
now.
Yeah, no, little kids, man. It's little kids' day. They go
Ah,
out there and get some candy, good stuff. My kids are happy as well. So we got a lot of candy right now. My boy doesn't want to take his outfit off, probably for the next week or so. He'll want to wear his Optimus Prime um, outfit. But all right, so folks, well, it looks like we have to move on. From a good victory, I mean, obviously, good things that came out with that. To be fair, from that victory, um, that we might maybe need to implement moving forward, especially with Arsenal. I was reading somewhere, some folks telling or fans saying that got to go back to the basics against Arsenal because it's not, it's a team that's fighting for the Premier League to win the title. So we can't try new things with that type of team. But I mean, it worked yesterday, so why not just keep going at it? But first of all, while we wait on Lee to come on, what do you guys do? We keep the same changes? What do we change for? What do we keep? What do we let go from the match yesterday versus Chelsea? Let me go with Gary. Gary, what are your thoughts?
Well, the only thing that comes to my mind now is it gives Eddie Howe a pleasant headache.
Right.
I was so pleased of the lads going out there and performing for him because that was the cry of help for me. It's so hard for a team that's underperforming, and I don't mean underperforming in the entire pitch. It's underperforming in certain parts, and whether you link that to the midfield defence by leaking goals, or whether you literally, say it's up front where we're just not scoring goals. It wasn't just quite working out. Now, what that gave us yesterday was a chance for Eddie Howe to gamble, and that's the word that you need to look at. It was a gamble. He's got a couple of players that were playing again in positions that they've played before, but not expected to play in week out. J7 for me was absolutely pinnacle of that team performance yesterday. Kraft playing right back again. We all said he's probably more a right centre back now than he was a right back, but didn't put a foot wrong for me, that lad. We've seen Lewis Hall progress time after time. Yesterday was a little bit more quiet because he had a job to do against really formidable wingers. And again, very rarely did he look in any trouble. And that's what impressed me yesterday. As quick as they were on the width, we didn't lose our shape. In actual fact, what we got, apart from the first 2 or 3 minutes, was Chelsea to start thinking about their shape. And again, they tried the old trick by playing it out from the back, and we just nailed it. We nailed it from the back to the front. Once we got going, I was really impressed. Now, whether you make changes, if it was for me, I would look at it and say some of the lads. I mean, like say Murphy looks like he's got a bit of a hamstring, according to the post-match interview. So would he be a starter or a chance of starter? Well, I doubt that now. If he's got a hamstring injury, hamstring's one of the worst places to get. Luckily, it's not too bad. So I would imagine, if anything, he'll be on the bench. But for me, can you change the front three? I don't think you can. I think it's the first time I've seen this season where we had balance. We had balance from the left hand side. We had also balance from the right hand side. The flowing from midfield allowed that. It was free flowing from Willock, who was the front runner, literally followed by Tonali, making up a lot of ground from the deepest player at 6 all the way through to more or less playing as a 10 role. And you had, as daft it looks, Longstaff not playing a massive part in the team, as in connection with the ball, but some of his runs that he was doing yesterday were like what I class the selfish part. He was making runs which was moving players out of position. And at parts yesterday, he was the deepest midfielder. He allowed Willock and Tonali just to move around in front of him. So for me, it's a case of, can you bring Bruno back into this team? And if you do, where do you play him?
Well, I mean, I personally don't have that question. I think Bruno needs to play. I think he's one of the best players. I don't think that Longstaff really did anything. I don't think we won because of Longstaff.
No,
Without
I'm not saying it was for Longstaff.
slating
What I'm
him.
saying to you is,
Uh,
where do you bring Bruno? Because to me, Tonali has shown yesterday that he literally fits comfortably in that centre slot.
yeah,
Now, the only place that I would look at playing Bruno now is trying him in the Longstaff role and having Tonali sit deeper and
right.
let Bruno have a bit more of a free role going forward.
Yeah, I think and that's probably going to be it. I mean, Tonali proved that it was his best performance and maybe one of our best performances.
Absolutely.
So I mean, in that sense, I would agree. Tim, didn't get your take. It confused me a bit because Peter came on, and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't know because the way he was talking, I was like, are you trying to trick me? But what is your take on the game yesterday? Obviously, and if you think what can we implement from that victory onto this weekend against Arsenal?
I think I agree with everything Gary said. And with Bruno, when you think back, like I said in the comments, I think last night when Shelby was here, Shelby was 6 and Bruno was that 8. I think he was left side at that time with ASM
Mhm.
linking up that way. And I have, even though we're finished 4th and 7th, I've always had in the back of my mind that I'd like to see Bruno in that 8 again, because ultimately I do think that's probably, I know he's really good deeper with the high press and being press resistant, but he's got the technical ability, I think, to be causing damage more in the final third. So, and like you say, getting up and down as well. I know he's not the quickest, but he covers ground. So I would like to see Bruno in the number 8 position. Like you say, Tonali 6. I know they will rotate anyway, but generally
Yeah.
speaking, I do think that is worth a look. And I thought, like, when we bought Tonali, I thought that was going to be the case anyway. I thought it would be Tonali releasing Bruno a bit more, but obviously it wasn't. But I think now you would like to think that that will be the case, at least for the Arsenal game. I think, like you say, J7 on the left, I would do that again. I don't see how you can change that. I think the question is, do you play Willock again, who links up so well with J7
Mhm.
on that left side, or do you keep Longstaff in for his defensive abilities as well against, a top side? And the fact that Longstaff did play well. So we've got to give Longstaff credit. Do you know what I mean? We slay him enough times when he plays crap, and rightly so at times, but he played well. So we've got to say that he played really well. So I think that's a conundrum, Longstaff or Willock. The rest, I think, like you said, Tonali 6, Bruno 8, J7 left, Gordon right, and Gordon again. He showed he can play it on the right. That run down that side, using his pace with that cross. That's an example of what he can bring down the right, and I think his attributes are very much suited going down the outside, just like he did in that moment. So
Mm.
to me, I wouldn't. I mean, I love Barnes, as you know, Chris, but I wouldn't for this game. I'd keep J7 where he is, bring Barnes on if we need to, have Isaac up front, obviously. And the thing is, I think one change I'd be very tempted to make or at least keep his craft right back. Because what you can do there is it's similar potentially to what we had with Trippier and Burn, where Trippier bombed on and Burn was almost like a third centre back.
Mm-hmm.
If we've got Kraft in there, that gives Hall the license to bomb on, and Kraft being more of a hybrid centre back these days anyway, he can just sit back a bit, and you've got that balance like we had when we finished fourth. So I think I love Tino as well, but obviously he's still learning. And is it worth just keeping Kraft in based on that form and his nous that he's got defensively for this game?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I could agree with a lot of that. Interesting though, Joe Linton on the left side. I mean, really, we, I mean, Eddie could keep the same side. We're playing at St. James's Park. Well, again, with the same, I keep saying that, but with the change of long stuff. I mean, um, and look, and it's not that because it may seem like I keep repeating it as if he did anything wrong. Really, he didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. I just I'm not sold on the we win with long stuff on the pitch. I think it's more of it's a casualty more than. And I'm not saying that he's not necessarily doing anything for the team. Actually, I saw positives from long stuff yesterday. But obviously Bruno is. I mean, you can't keep the captain out of the team. And to be fair, when Bruno came on yesterday, I did. He played really good. He played really
Yep.
good. With that being said, I think he was playing not where Longstaff was playing. I think he went to the middle, and Tonali went back on the right. What do you guys agree with that, or do you feel like
Bruno.
yeah
Bruno slotted into the left.
on the left?
Yeah, he was left midfield. That's what I said. When Willett come off, what I loved about Eddie yesterday, there wasn't reshuffles on the park. It was
Mm.
man for man, and they kept the shape. But that's what I said. The
Hmm.
entire game, it was the first time for a long time that we've seen a team that's totally balanced. And what I loved about us yesterday was the pace of AG10 literally keeping Cucurella back. He was penned back into his own half. He was frightened to come forward. You saw the difference when they were chasing the game, how much trouble Cucurella did, because he plays in the channels. He plays in the inside left position going forward, and he was making some really dirty runs. And because we'd gone to a 5-4-1 system by then, we'd literally closed majority of the passing channels. You're always going to give the odd half chance away, and that's literally where it ended up being. It was just half chances. And I mean, I know I've read a couple in the chat now. People are always going to say this is only Chelsea's second side, but there's 8 internationals and they cost £400 million. And these, if the only thing that goes against them is the fact that they don't have enough minutes to actually gel as a team. And I think you could see that yesterday. I mean, the other comfort thing is I think we dodged a bullet with Batsui, who obviously we were linked with, who looked all over the place, to be fair, under pressure. He didn't look like he was keen on having the ball at feet. And I think yesterday
Body
was the
issues,
first
you mean?
time, if you have a look at Batshuayi, who we were linked to, I mean, he scored the own goal. But every time you pressed him and you pressed him hard, he looked like the ball was stuck under his feet. He couldn't get rid of it quick. Didn't look comfortable on the press. They all look comfortable when you step off them and you give them that little bit of, I suppose, respect. But yesterday, our performance was we literally pressured as a team. And not only did we press as a team, we actually stopped the passing channels, which we didn't do at the bridge. And that to me, like I say, there wasn't a lot wrong at the bridge apart from allowing them to easily pass Sanchez, just pass to the forward line. So Nicholas Jackson could get it, Palmer could get it, and turn us. And like I said to you, no team, it doesn't matter how good you are, likes to turn and face their own goal when they're running back. It's just difficult then because anything can happen. And the other thing is we didn't have many clear cut chances. And as daft it looks, it probably could have ended up 4 or 5-3 if everything that we had went in. And that's what I'm saying. The half chances didn't go our way. Obviously, we'd seen a couple of that hit the post. We had one come off a knee that could have gone anywhere. But we scored the main 2 goals. And once you score 2 goals, it's up then to the opposition to try and beat you. We've always got pace in the team with Asula coming on. Again, a young lad. I didn't think he looked out of place whatsoever. made some really nice runs into the channel, and not confident to actually pull the ball onto his left foot and have a strike from 19 yards, which come off the edge of the post. So that's what I'm saying. It's all a positive, and there are always going to be knockers, mate. I know that. Not everybody's going to go, oh, you know what? We've just beat Chelsea at home. I just think this could be a little bit of a pivot to support Eddie's choice going forward. And for me, if he goes back to the way we've played and the old team, I think you could see us step back rather than forward. So I'm hoping Eddie doesn't change too much, but he'll need to make a couple of changes.
Well, Osula was definitely interesting. Now that he got more, I don't know exactly how many minutes he played, but it had to be
It was about
uh,
30, wasn't it? I
a
think. Or
a good
20.
amount. Every time he got the ball, he was looking for the score, looking for the goal. And
Mm.
I thought that that mindset is something that is should be welcome. Um, and obviously he's not going to be no starter, but you know, I think I definitely think now because of what I've seen that maybe we need to get away from the waiting and hoping that Callum Wilson is fit and just move on to the kid. I mean, to be the number two option at center back. Um, I, I mean, from what I've seen, now you're still
At centre back.
I
Are
mean,
you,
sorry,
I'm
center
gonna,
forward, center
I'm
forward.
gonna, you confuse me
Uh,
at hell of that.
yeah,
I'm thinking at centre back.
yeah, center forward, and obviously he's like I said, he's probably not going to get a lot of minutes. When comes off, but he needs to be that option though, Tim.
Yeah, he proved that he is ready for more minutes than just five. Like,
Yeah.
to be fair, I think that showed that game, didn't it? Where I think we could have used him more up till now, based on that performance. No, I think he's definitely ready. I'd be playing him. I'd be subbing him on for 30 minutes or so, and I wouldn't be averse to playing him with Isak, even if you could put Isak on the left for just some games where you're playing, say, Ipswich at home, a lower side. Not to be disrespectful, obviously, sides in the Premier League, no game is easy, but I'd like to see them both in the picture at the same time at some point. But no, I think
Well,
Asula definitely needs to have more minutes going forward. Like,
yeah. I mean, both on the pitch would be interesting to see. I mean, weren't they in maybe against Chelsea away, weren't they? I mean, not for a few minutes, but not
yeah, they were.
maybe for a few
They were.
minutes. Well, I mean, like I
Wasn't
said,
long
not
enough.
not, not enough to really get a feel of what they could do. But I mean, how we seen how has Isak and Callum Wilson performed together?
They've done
They've
well together.
always, yeah, they've done very well when they're partnered, and it's lovely because you get two different styles of a centre forward with the two of them. Um, like I say, Wilson loves similar to the old fashioned way. He likes his back into a defender, and he likes to hassle them that way. He'll tread on toes, he'll dig them with elbows, and he does all the other stuff that good old fashioned centre forwards do. Where Isak's more of a silkier player, and that's what I said. For me, I would always want Isak just stepping a little bit deeper
Yeah,
and pulling their defender, very much the way Chelsea play, just having somebody in that hollow. It's very difficult for the defender to know whether to go and go man to man or ask one of your midfielders to come back and support. And I think at the bridge, that's where there was problems because nobody was actually sitting in that pocket of space that the likes of Palmer, the likes of Jackson sat in when they come back. And again, it's up to your mentality then. Do I go and press hard? Because if I go press hard, you've either got to take the player or the ball. You can't allow them to turn you like Burn was a lot of the time. And obviously, you're then running back towards your own goal, and it becomes uncomfortable. And we saw that time and time again at the bridge. And I think the system that he played yesterday was actually perfect. As much as Lloyd Kelly made a couple of mistakes that could have cost us as after it looks. For it being his first game at centre back, at right centre back, like first start at right centre back. I mean, I thought he did really well.
Yeah.
I thought his recovery was good. He threw his body in front of balls to block them. And I think if you can get a relationship between him and Shaw going forward, then who knows? You've got two players that can distribute the ball 70 yards to feet. That gives you a different opportunity, right, left, right. And like Tim has already said, having Kraft in the side allows Lewis Hall then a little bit more freedom, knowing full well that your right back's going to sit in and cover for you because everybody can step across and cover the 18-yard box, which is a good system. And like I say, even Crafty going forward yesterday, who created the Asula chance right towards the
Yeah.
end. I mean, the lad's got pace. You know, he can play football. He's got a brain. But as long as he doesn't do it or overcommit himself, then it looks good. And like I said, we all know that you're only as good as the next game, and every player will have a poor game. We've seen it. None of these guys seem to ride on a wave for the entire Premier League. But while they're confident, and this is what I'm saying, all that game did for us yesterday was build the confidence. And I think it was a little bit of confidence that was lapping. It was the crowd. And I said, your crowd becomes your 12th man. There was no disgruntlement in the ground before it started, which was great. It was lovely to hear the crowd roar and applaud the lads. And even like I say, when you saw AG go back and he did a sliding tackle towards the goal line, our own goal line, even though he didn't block the ball, they applauded him for the fact that he worked his knackers off to get back and try and get the block in. So it's just about the commitment that for me shows massively at St James's Park. And like I said, even though I think this will probably be our toughest match coming, even though we're at home, I still think they can give Arsenal a good game.
All right. Trying to test something there.
You've got an
Okay,
echo in my ears, Chris.
there we go. No, sorry about that. So, the good thing about this, well, actually, I don't agree with people saying, it's Chelsea's B team. In this particular case, I don't agree with that. Simply because it is a very strong team. I mean, this is not, and I know some Chelsea fans will say that, obviously, but even Toon fans saying that, I just don't, I don't agree with it. Don't agree with it. I mean, it's a very strong team, or maybe
They're
they
not going
can
to have the
say,
cohesion. Yeah, that team wouldn't have the cohesion because they haven't played together as much. But it's still, like you say, littered with quality players.
Yeah,
yeah,
8 internationals. You know what I mean? It's not a bad team to have. As your
Aye.
B team, is it?
no, exactly, or maybe they can say, well, we're not that good, maybe without Cole Palmer, because I mean, Nkunku had opportunity. They were good enough. They had opportunities. They
Mm.
just didn't finish their dinner. We did on the other side. Now you can say that our if they scored in that in that first instance, I think Mudryk wasn't it? They won that could have scored. Well, then it would have been a different game maybe. But
Well,
it is what it
Dewsbury
is.
Hall had that chance, didn't he? Right? Was it the first minute or just under 2 minutes where he had a clear shot and goal and dragged it literally down Pope's throat? If that had buried itself in the corner, it'd have been a totally different game.
Right.
So it's what I said. It's all about certain parts of the game, and you either take your chance or you don't. And Chelsea were very much like us, against the likes of Brighton and Everton. Did everything in front of goal and the build up to the goal, but when you get there, just couldn't do anything with it, and that's how frustrating it become.
Yeah.
One thing with Disasi, Chelsea defender, Craig Hope was saying that he was put to Eddie Howe by people at the club as an option,
Oh, that was it.
fullback
Not
option.
Batshuayi, it's Disasi. That's all I
Aye,
meant.
aye. And Eddie Howe wasn't sold on him and said, no, I don't want him. And there was some at the club who was saying, well, I think he could be useful. That's what Craig Hope was saying anyway.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
it's a bit of a win that for Eddie based on that display anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Lee is trying to join the link. It's not, he says he is in, but I don't see him on the bottom. So I'm going to refresh. You guys keep on chatting about, and I'll be right back. Maybe that'll help the thing. So
Okay.
I'll be right back, folks.
So, I mean, looking at the weekend, looking at Arsenal, what what do you think Arsenal's weaknesses, Tim? 'Cause, I mean, obviously they've missed a few star players themselves. I thought having Saka injured um, would have stopped them, or at least he'll have a slower return. But he looked on fire against Liverpool. Looked very cohesive, even though they are missing players. Um, but I read in the chat, and I've watched a couple of their threads today. They're not looking forward to coming up to St James's Park.
Good, good. Well, I think it is hard, like with Arsenal, because there isn't many weaknesses these days with them, unfortunately. I think, is Martinelli going to play, do you think? because
Well, I
I
don't
think
know. I mean, obviously, Havertz is one of their top players at the moment. I mean, I've just had a look on Opta to see some of his stats, and some of his stats are through the roof.
mm,
Partey, Havertz. Um, I mean, obviously, we know Ray's having a cracking time in goal, so they're all really up there. I mean, that you expect this. Expected goals from Kai Havertz is 4.5.
There we go.
So he's having the supply. He's got the top shots with 28 from a striker.
Right.
Saka 3.7. So his expected assists is over 3 a game. So we know he's going to perform really well.
Well, talking about Arsenal, we got the one and only Lee Judges
Hey,
on the
Lee.
channel. The man, the
that
myth,
man.
the legend. As you know, he's. I mean, you can see him on AFTV with Robbie and the lads. You've seen him on. He's got his own channel, Lee Judges TV, the Gooner Talk TV. He's all over the place. He is the Gooner himself. If there's a Gooner out there, how's it going, mate? All good?
Thank you very much. Sorry about that. I've had to come on my phone. I couldn't get through on the computer, but I managed to get here in the end, like that, mate. So, how you guys? Okay?
We're
Yeah,
doing
very
good,
well,
Mm.
mate.
man. You ready for
Lovely
this?
to see you.
You ready for this problem you're gonna face this weekend?
Oh, yes, definitely. And it is a problem. Listen, as you well know, it's a tough place to go at the best of times. And after a good winning midweek for you guys against Chelsea, well done. No one likes
Yeah.
Chelsea.
No
So,
problem there, is there?
yeah, it's a big game, and listen, we've got to win. I know, you probably feel the same. Has not been in quite that great form, but I think that what happened at Bournemouth a couple of weeks ago and dropping points against Liverpool, we need to get back on track. I could think of a lot easier places to go to get back on track, but that's what we're going to have to do.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys, come on, man. Don't be modest. You guys are fighting for the league. Obviously, we're not there yet, but you're fighting with the big dogs, Liverpool, Man City. Um, Certainly, what do you think about your current form right now? How do you look at the team? Are you guys really about the? Can you win the league this season?
Yeah, we can. I think that we definitely can. But if we are to win the league, we've got to win at Newcastle and win at Chelsea next week, and that's a tall order. But that's what we've got to do because we've dropped a couple of points at home, got a few injuries as well. But listen, that's not excuses. We've put ourselves in this position. We've had some good results away from home. But not beating Manchester City and not beating Liverpool has been a little bit of a disappointment because
Yeah.
we've been leading in both of those games. So we have to accept that. Yeah, but I do think that we've got a good enough squad. We've had our injuries this season, but if we can stay injury free like now to the end of the season, I think we've come close. Yeah, and listen, I do fancy us tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. It's Saturday. I do fancy us to get something on Saturday. But I'm under no illusions that it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be a very, very tough game.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Well, I mean, obviously, playing Arsenal is not going to be easy for us either. We on our end, Eddie Howe has been criticized heavily
Mm.
for his tactics and the lack of making changes. And against Chelsea, he made the most changes we've seen, and all of a sudden they all worked. We have a limited squad, obviously, as you know. We don't have world beaters like you do. We don't have a Saka. We wish we had a Saka. It's going to be a difficult one, man. I know St. James's Park is there, but you got to give the fans something to cheer for and something to roar about. We've played at St. James's Park and we lost games as well. So I mean, it's not. Um, I think we're going to have to be on our A game to play against you a lot. But what do you think? Having with the European competitions, all of that stuff that you guys play a lot more than we do, obviously. Do you see you playing with your 8 team against us on the weekend?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. We sort of moved it around a little bit on Wednesday. Sort of rotated the squad and that, and very surprised that Saka had about 20, 25 minutes, considering I think we was 2-0 up, 3-0 up at the time. Saliba played the 90 minutes. Obviously, like the big question is if Gabriel plays. I think if Gabriel plays, not only is he a very, very good defender, he's very, very dangerous in the penalty area as well. So of opposition. So I think that if he's fit, it then gives us a selection headache. Who does he play in midfield? Because Thomas Partey's been sort of played right back the last couple of games. Actually played right back again against Preston when he come on. But of course that would mean then Ben White would shuffle over, and it'd be interesting then what he does in the midfield, because I think that one of Newcastle's strengths, as far as I'm concerned, is their midfield. I mean, you've got top class midfield players in there. Yeah. I think that if Gabriel does make it, and we've got Timber back as well, we're virtually apart from Odegaard, virtually injury free. Then, I know we've got a couple of injuries like Tommy Asu and whatever, but they're not like what you would turn around and say nailed on to start. I think nailed on starters now. We could be missing Gabriel and probably Odegaard, and that would be it then. So if everybody's back, we're be a little bit stronger. Obviously, we're missing Odegaard, of course, but any team would miss their best player. But you've got to be able to deal with that. And I think, if I'll be really honest, I think we've dealt with that quite well. I think maybe just one of the last couple of games that it may have struggled. Certainly against Bournemouth, I think we did. But I think Mikel got it all wrong tactics-wise that game, which can happen. And I think if we're going to be playing Newcastle, you guys probably know more than me that you're not in the greatest form at the moment. But
right,
that was a big win on Wednesday. I actually thought Chelsea would put a little bit more pressure on you in that game, but Isaac being back is a big plus for you guys. He's a pain in the old, whatever. So it's going to be a difficult game from that point of view. I think that if all of our guys are fit, barring Odegaard, I'll be a lot more confident on Saturday. If I see the team sheet and Gabriel's in there, I will, because I think it just gives our defence solid, because if he is fit, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, Timber, probably that's our top back four. I know Calafiori, we could argue about that, but that is as good as what we can put out. So if we can get that out, we've still got good midfield players: Thomas Partey, Marino, Declan Rice to choose from midfield. The only real position is that the Odegaard role, with whether it be Trossard or whether he takes the plunge and gives Wanyeri a go. So I think that we're going into this run of 3 games with you guys first, then into Milan and Chelsea, hopefully a bit stronger than we have been in the last couple of weeks.
Well, you were talking about your lineup, so let's take a look at. Let's do your predicted lineup right here to face us on the weekend. So Raya, no question, right?
No question.
Gabriel and White, but Gabriel, I mean, is he going to be fit?
That's the thing. So Gabriel and Saliba, if he's fit, then it'll be Gabriel and Saliba, as the 2 central defenders.
So we'll put Saliba here. If he is not fit, though, Gabriel, who would you put there?
I think that Ben White will play in the central defence, and then Thomas Partey will play right back. That if Gabriel's not fit.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could leave Gabriel there. I mean, obviously, if it.
Yeah, let's say he's fit.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I ask you?
Yeah, go on, Tim.
Sorry, just actually, how was Ben White done when he's played centre back? Because he's been right back for a long time now, hasn't he? He was a centre back, I know, but how was he slotted in there?
He done very well against Liverpool. That's the first time he's played in there, by the way, in 2 years. So it's not ideal, Tim. It's not ideal. But and you're up against, I think that with Liverpool, I don't want to upset Liverpool fans, but I'll go with it. I think they're more dangerous in the wider areas than their centre forward, where I think that Newcastle will be more dangerous centrally as well as wide. Do you know what I'm saying? I think you've got a threat in that central area. So I think that he was tested, but not. It was a nice test for him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it'd be more of a test if Ben White plays it. That's why I'm desperate that Gabriel does play. But listen, I want Gabriel to play if he's 100% fit. I don't want him playing if he's not. So listen, he's done. He's been exceptional for us at right back, I have to say. But he was bought for a central. Well, allegedly, I don't know if that is the case or whatever. But he played the first few games at central defence.
Yeah.
Done okay the other day, but I prefer him at right back now. Like, you know.
Yeah. All right. So Partey, I'm impressed with Partey actually.
Been our best midfield player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
done
man.
well.
Superb.
Now on this game right here, you got him on the right. I don't know. Did he ever play on there as a right back?
He's been playing as a right back inverted. This new
New
inverted
inverted.
right back that's just been brought up now. So
Are you gonna keep him there because Marino's on now?
no,
Or
if Gabriel's fit, Ben White goes there.
okay.
Thomas
So
Partey goes back into midfield.
and you take Marino off.
Yeah, you're the
Okay.
ex-Newcastle player.
Ex Newcastle. All right. Listen,
Good player.
a good player. Let's see where we got. Where is Partey?
You just
There you
passed
go.
him, Chris.
Oh, I just passed him actually. I don't even know why I switched. Let me see. Ben White. There you go. And then we're going to put Partey. Partey, very impressive. I think when I watched you guys, we have a Premier League channel called Football Uncensored, and we did the watch along for Arsenal Aston Villa, and I was so impressed with this man Partey, man, unbelievable. So we got two fellas coming in as well. Give me a second, lads. I'm going to bring you in a second. While we get this sorted, but your midfield, Declan Rice, man? What do I think last season he was your best player. Do you agree with that?
100%. He's outstanding for us. He's not quite at the heights of last season. I think hasn't had enough recovery. It looks a little bit jaded from the Euros. But he did rest. He's had a 4 weeks rest this week, so that hopefully bode well. He played very, very well against Liverpool, but he played in the holding role, which obviously now by me putting Partey in there means that he's the box to box again. But I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with
We got Specs Jordy Dread TV on the channel as well as D-Mine, our London correspondent. We got fans in London, Lee.
It is what it
We got
that. Got them all over. Got them all over.
North London, baby. North
There
London,
you go.
You,
South London, mate. South.
There you
you
go.
bad man, North London.
Yeah. Long story, man. Big up to everyone though in the chat and everyone, and you, Chris, and everyone here. You get me? Big up
Cheers,
to these
Specs.
judges. Man's a legend in this.
Oh,
So
the-
yeah,
the
man. Big
judges,
up to
man.
everyone,
OG
man.
in the game. OG in the game.
I was told Lee Judge can't walk in London, man. All the people surrounding him.
I believe him. I believe him.
Celebrity.
He's
Celebrity
like winning
status.
Carlisle, mate. He is.
Exactly. All right. So up front, you guys play with a 4-2-3-1, don't you? Or is it 4-3-3?
Yeah, so
4-2-3.
yeah.
Recently,
Recently, though, 'cause I think last season.
is it?
Yeah. All right.
Sort of
Well,
play like the two midfield players, then the one in the front would be Odegaard.
right. Yeah.
But you could do play the two like that. How you've got it is probably
Yeah.
probably what
Probably
they do.
right. So Trossard in the middle, obviously Odegaard, or do you have faith?
Do you know? I'm going to say it now. I would like to see Wanyeri play there, but I think that Mikel will go with the experience.
Okay, so Trossard, we got obviously Saka, can't move him, and Martinelli on the left,
Yeah.
and Havertz up front. Are you happy with Havertz as a 9?
Yeah, very much so.
Because when he got it from I was the one defending him when he got the Arsenal from Chelsea, because a lot of Gunners were not having it, man.
A lot of Arsenal fans, but thankfully I did back him. I think that he's a very, very good player. I actually watched a little bit of, I know it sounds silly, but when we was in control against Preston, so you didn't have that worry about the game, so you could just watch it a little bit more. And I thought, well, I'm going to have a good look at him. And there was other players I was obviously like looking at Wanyeri probably more, but there is that demeanour about him where he looks like he's a little bit lazy and all that, like that he doesn't care, like, you know what I mean? But he does, and if you can get over that and see what he does, he does very, very well. He does. If he's playing well, he's the one that he knits everything together, particularly up front. And well, the goal, I know it's only against Preston. I don't really want to say that, but that was a proper centre forwards goal on Wednesday, like, you know, header wise. When that went in, wow, it's a bullet. So he's got the ability. He's got all the abilities. The one thing that I don't think I think he, and it annoyed me against Shakhtar when I think he's one of these players that would prefer to do an assist than score a goal, you know. And if you were the number 9 centre forward, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because like I see Isaac do it the other day against Chelsea when he should have passed, and he didn't. You know what I mean? Like, so he's got that hunger to be the goal scorer. Where I'm 100% sure that if Havertz was in that position, he'd have laid it back to whoever. I can't remember who was coming onto it, and who had an open goal. So he's very, and that penalty, like, you know, he's on a record, like, you know, and he's your number 9, and you Newcastle fans know about number 9. You want to score goals, you want to be the goal scorer, like, you know, and I can't believe he let Trossard take that penalty, you know. The one thing that I think he really does with that is the desire to go and say, do you know what, I want to be known as a goal scorer as well. But his general play and all that is fantastic, as you will see on Saturday.
All right, and we're gonna go to our lineup in a minute, and we're about to blow you away, man. I'm telling you, with the lineup we got, trust me. But you're going with Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, White on the right, Timber on the left, Rice, Partey in the middle, a little bit up front, Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, and Havertz. Before we go to our lineup, let me ask you this, because there's a lot of rumors, man, about you and Alexander Isak, and we're not taking that too lightly, man. We're not happy about that. You know what I mean? So you're talking about a striker that likes to score. Now Isak is not. You didn't say his name, but you essentially mentioned Alan Shearer. They're not the same.
No.
Isak is very technical. Obviously Alan Shearer is a top goal scorer, the Premier League. But so would you accept him on the team? Would you be happy with him? And but you're happy with Havertz. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Like, you know, I think with Mikel, he'd probably look to. I think he'd like someone like him, if I'll be honest, because he can play in multiple positions.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily as the main striker. I think there is. So I think that it would be something that Arsenal would like, but I think that you guys are not gonna. You're not going to give him away, are you? You're not going to give him away.
We're not going to try. We're not. We don't want
Not
to,
so
but
easy.
but
Yeah.
but it looks like something happened where he doesn't want to. I don't know if he doesn't want to or what. The rumor out there is that the man wants Champions League, and obviously that's something that we want to. I mean, all of us want Champions League, obviously, but the man wants something more guaranteed. I mean, we got to be objective. Arsenal is a team that you can say they're going to qualify for Champions League year in, year out. But also there was another dig from journalists that towards the players. I don't know if Isak in particular, but towards the players, that if you want Champions League, you got to play Champions League like. And he hasn't been lighting it up exactly. He scored, I think, his third goal or second goal of the season.
His third
So
goal. He's third. He's
third
getting
goal.
there.
Third,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
So
Come
I
on.
know. Listen, I'm a big Isak advocate, but
Yeah, of course, of course.
he did have a great season. So he's going to have to prove that he is that caliber of player, to be that guy, especially to be the number one guy for Arsenal or for Newcastle, or wherever he wants to go
Yeah.
in life. So,
But Chris, sorry, Chris, but do you agree with that though? Like I heard that narrative. Sorry, I mean Chris. Yeah, I've heard that narrative, and everyone on the panel. You know when they say like, I heard that saying like, oh, which is fair. Like it goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like if you think of that guy, you got to put in the work in it when things go a bit low, or whatever. But overall, regardless,
He's
Isa could have
quality.
Isa could have another 6 games in a row stinker, and if to me, he's still a Champions League player to me, regardless.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get what I'm
Well, I
saying?
mean, you can say if he was playing for Arsenal or City, he would
But
score.
he
He
would
would have more
smoke.
goals because he would.
He'd be devastating. I think it
Yeah,
would elevate Arsenal a little bit more. And as Lee said, in terms of he's versatile. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't think at Arsenal we would rinse him out so much the way we do, because obviously, who have we got really? Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't want to see it. But if they said there's no choice specs, Isak's going, he's leaving. What team would you prefer? I'd rather see him flourish. If I have to see him flourish somewhere, it'd have to be Arsenal, because I think he'll be devastating in
I'd
that.
rather
In
him
that,
go anywhere else but Arsenal
is
because
it? No,
at
because
Arsenal,
it's
I'm cool
speak.
with Arsenal, man.
Speak.
you know what, at Arsenal he's going to demolish. They'll win the Premier League if they have him. They will win the
Devastating.
Premier League.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
they
And
need. I
yeah,
mean,
but
yeah, and
we ain't competing with that right now,
no,
though.
but
You
you'd
get
rather
me?
see him surely play in a different country. You don't want him to come back and bag a
yeah,
hat trick
man.
at
We
St
got.
James's and all that stuff. You like,
Oh,
nah, man.
see, that's different.
You know what I mean? Go
Yeah,
elsewhere. Go. But
Yeah,
what in regards to your question,
yeah,
regardless of how he's playing at the moment with the goal drought,
yeah.
his
He's a
transfer
top boy.
value his transfer value has not diminished. Like he's still 100 million
Straight.
plus player. So Arsenal gonna have to cough up the goods if they want him.
Mm.
They're gonna have to pay, a
can you
lot of money.
pay over 100? Would you pay 110 for Isak Lee?
I don't think he can.
Uh,
It's your money.
no, not no. I don't think that I would. If I'll be
You
really
wouldn't.
honest, I don't
You
think.
paid 100 for Declan Rice, man.
Don't get me
Yeah,
started on
but
that one.
Declan Rice. Yeah, but Declan Rice. We desperately needed a Declan Rice. I'm not saying that we don't desperately need, Isaac. I don't know. You know what I mean? We've got Havertz. We've got, listen. If Arsenal got the money, I suppose we would. But I think that don't forget Arsenal have got problems next year in the midfield because we've got like Thomas Partey and Jorginho coming to the end of their contract.
Mm.
So we're going to have to
Mm.
look to bring in a couple of midfield players as well. So if you're going to buy a player for 110 million, what does that do for the midfield as well? So
Yeah.
I think we've got to be very, very clever what we do.
Mm.
But as I said, listen, I'd like him to come to Arsenal, but you guys are not going to go right. All right, we'll give you 70 million for him, and maybe one of our players or whatever. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think that. The
Yeah.
only way that he'll come to Arsenal is if or any other club in England for that reason is if he does say that he wants to leave and
Yeah,
he's not going to
yeah,
sign
Right.
contracts
Exactly.
yeah.
like that. That would be the only thing then that
No.
will happen. He's
That'd be
given no
heartbreaking.
indication that that's the case. He's not giving any indication on that like that.
He's
Nah.
still
And I
got
think
4 years, no? 4 years on his contract
I
Yeah,
left.
think he's got
He's
4
got a
years
long
to
time
go.
though.
So
Yeah.
there's no pressure on Newcastle to sign him,
I,
to sell him. Sorry, and I think there's a lot of rumours because of Arsenal, because of the connection between him and Odegaard when they was at Real
yeah,
Sociedad. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if it's all like smoke and dagger sort of stuff. So, um,
Let's just
you know,
see.
I, I,
There's
I'm
Gilchrist though.
quite happy to
Gilchrist,
flourish at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Gilchrist from Sweden,
Yeah,
from
that's another one.
Bolton.
Like, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? His manager's going now, etc. So it could be. I don't know. I think it'll be a good fit
Yeah.
as well, personally.
Uh,
Yeah.
one player that you have that he wasn't wanted earlier in this in this summer transfer window that I thought it would show our ambition as a club if we go and get somebody of this caliber, played at top level. A lot of people it gets a lot of criticism, but it is Raheem Sterling that we could have because we don't have those types of players. And to me, I mean, look at the top clubs. They Arsenal didn't Arteta when he was asked before he joined, he was all over it. He was all over it when he was asked about it. And you guys have him right now. What can you say though about him so far? Um, is he somebody you're looking forward to keeping in the future, or is he going to go back to Chelsea?
I honestly think that we tried to sign a wide player. I don't know who that was. Little rumours it was like Nico Williams. I don't know. And I just think that maybe in the end they thought that we'll do a deal for a year. With Stern, he struggled a little bit. You can see there's glimpses. He's a good player, but he's not going to by any stretch of the imagination, out Saka, and I don't think he's going to out Martinelli. If I'll be honest, So, but listen, he's good for the squad. Good player to come in and do things. He's very unlucky not to score yesterday, and you can see he's desperately trying hard. But yeah, I think that it's a make or break season for him. I don't know what would happen with him if obviously he's got no future at Chelsea and the contract is on, etc., etc. And obviously it's a strange one because next week he can't be involved because it's obviously we're playing Chelsea. So,
Oh wow, yeah.
So if he's not involved on Saturday and then he's not involved on Tuesday, he's got about 3 weeks off then. So it'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
It's
true.
an interesting one on Sterling, if I'll be honest.
All right.
Very interesting. I think that we've also, I know, like there was a little rumor that we was linked with Anthony Gordon as well. Like I don't want to
Man. So
upset
yeah,
you
you're
guys,
trying to.
but
You got 5 against 1, man. You really want that fight?
How did we get to there, man? How did we get there, Lee? Man?
again, I think that
Good player though.
very good player. I think that, as I say, like if you can keep him, Isaac, and that you got some
Would
players that can
would you
cause
would you
damage.
would you put Gordon over Martinelli? I'm just trying to gauge where our players are from a rival's perspective.
Yeah, I think that they're very similar. Very similar. I quite like Anthony Gordon, if I'll be honest. I think that he's a good player, causes problems.
Who's the better finisher?
Yeah, yeah,
Would you say
I do.
would you say Gordon's a better finisher?
Probably. I think that he's Mark. Do you know with Martinelli? I think that funny enough, he made his debut. Funny enough, against Newcastle a few seasons back now when Aubameyang scored and we won 1-0, and he was an exciting player. One of the most, really excited a lot of Arsenal fans. I think this season he's not quite pushed on. Maybe like this season and last, where Gordon's at that stage now where he's in the same sort of boat, if you know what I mean. Like now,
Yeah.
he's got to a certain level. Can he push on? He's got all the attributes to do it, as is Martinelli. But what you find is that defences and players, they got plans now, and you have to, and that's why Saka goes up a level. Is that every plan that's put on him, he seems to find a way, and I think that someone like Anthony Gordon is in that boat now, is where he's getting recognised, and like he's doing well. He's doing well, and he's got himself in the England team now and squad. And if he knuckles down, he could be a big asset for Newcastle. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go with our lineup, and what do we got here? So there we go, mate. This is what we play with against Chelsea, and we made a lot of changes. It worked. We got the victory, but surprising change to say the least. First of all, Eddie Howe never makes a change, so
We had Longstaff for Bruno.
well, no, I know.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But obviously, this is without Longstaff. So what I'm trying to say is that could this be our starting lineup?
I would love it to be.
Because you
Same.
got Nick Pope, Fabian Schär, Lloyd Kelly, new signing, played well against Chelsea, literally against Nkunku. Man, Nkunku had a mare last night. I mean, literally. And then you got Lewis Hall on the left, former Chelsea as well. I thought he did decent. It was a bit. I think moving forward, he was a bit. It was a bit of a congested area with Willock and Joe Linton there.
I think he was really good
I
first
liked
20
it.
minutes.
Yeah,
I like
First
it.
20 minutes,
Yeah.
I thought he was outstanding. He had a
Right.
bit more of
Yeah,
a
man.
disciplined role in the second half, but that's
Yeah.
what the whole team had to do. So
I
he
like
was
that.
really
Yeah.
good.
And of course, Tonali in the middle. So I said this because I was
he's
I
got
was
to stay
going
there.
to
bad
I was
boy.
doing a lot of
He's quality.
I was doing a lot of Premier League content back a year ago, and when you signed Declan Rice, Lee, I said, well, it is what it is, but Tonali is better than Rice. Now that's one take. That's one hell of a take. But obviously Tonali didn't play last season. He's a little busy, doing other stuff, and so this could be the season where we can measure that. Obviously, could be a bit unfair though, because Arsenal is competing for bigger things than we are at the moment. So if you guys go on and win the league, well, obviously that's that Tonali is, it's not in that situation. But yesterday when he played centered, No, if it's a DM. He's not a defensive midfielder, but he was in charge of the midfield.
Mhm.
He had the best game of this of his time at Newcastle. Um,
Proper.
and very good. And then Bruno Guimaraes, another talent that is very talented. He was rumored with Arsenal as well. What's up
Yeah,
with you guys, man? You could take.
He turned them
You
down, didn't
think
he? Turned us down.
you think we're your academy? What, man?
yeah. I don't know about that. We give you Willock. Come on, you know what I mean.
Oh, Willick, yeah, that is true. Willick is there. Willick played good yesterday for some.
Yeah,
He
he's a
Yeah, he
best
Yeah,
did.
decent.
best game of the year.
Decent player, decent player. I like Bruno though. Do you know what? I don't like him when he plays against you.
No, exactly.
But,
It's a good shout.
That's
It's
the
a good
compliment.
shout with
Yeah,
Willock.
yeah.
Because we all said Willock's been struggling over the last few weeks, Lee. And by the way, Lee, I don't usually dress as a mad monk on the show, but it's just a special
Oh, it's
occasion.
Halloween. It's Halloween.
Yeah, I
There
was
you
going to
go.
put my hood up, but I thought, oh shit, you'd scare the life out of it. Anyway, I think Willock had a game yesterday to push himself for the Arsenal game, and I think that was that
yes.
step that he wanted to make. He wanted to make an impression,
I
and
said
I think
that, didn't I?
against Arsenal, he knew that door was ajar
Open.
and he could step through it, and he performed really well yesterday.
Yeah.
Was he? What do you think of Willock? I mean, did he come out of Arsenal academy? Did
Yeah,
he?
yeah, I liked him. I think that he was he done well for us. I think that he was one of those players that was on the periphery, but I think Steve Bruce took him on loan, if I remember
Yep.
rightly.
Yep.
He was, yeah.
Mhm.
And then I think realistically Newcastle give us an offer that we couldn't really refuse. Really, but always nicks a goal. Always nick a goal, or do something in a game. So listen. Without being horrible to him, he's not going to win you the league, but he's a good squad player to challenge for things and all that,
Did he struggle with injuries? Because with us, he has.
Yeah, well, not really. Yeah, yes and no. I think all Arsenal players do, you know what I mean? So, he's had a lot more injuries since he's been up there, but then because I suppose he's playing a lot more, so where
Yeah, that's
he
true.
was sort of dipping in and out at Arsenal, he was like,
Yeah.
playing a lot of games. But I'm listen, and I wish him all the best, and he was good for us. I have to say that,
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked him.
Yep.
What he's good at as well, Lee, by the way, is keeping the ball in play when it's running out of over the line. He's
Yeah,
really good at
he
that.
did do that, and then
Yeah.
then about 6 months later, he admitted it went out. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
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 Joe Linton.
we have to bring up that.
Of course.
So he's in the middle, and then Joe Linton on the left is a left winger. Really surprised me that change. He's usually in the midfield. He did well though yesterday.
But
Alexander
this is what we
Isak up
said.
front. Yeah.
This is what we
Yeah.
said on the last
Right.
one, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
when Willock's on the left and Joe Linton on the left, the interchanging that they do,
Yep.
reminiscent
Fact.
of a couple seasons ago, and it really worked. So, once I saw that, I thought we were in for a treat yesterday. So, yeah, I think they should continue with it. Whether or not Eddie does is another story, but it worked really well. It worked really well. I think that's his best position, Joe Linton's best position for us.
Bruv, when we was trying to qualify for the Champions League, ran those times when we was playing him at times, he was
Exactly.
obviously he's unorthodox as your typical winger, because obviously is Eddie Howe going to be brave enough to say, you know what, let me kind of stick with the same team as it is. Joe Litton may at times can cause problems on that left hand side. He's big and he's strong as well. You know how physical he is as well. It's
And
kind
you
of
got
unorthodox, but
who do we got there for? Well, we got White. I think
that'd
Joe Linton.
be interesting, man. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
But
interesting.
it
to
is
see.
partly because, like you say, with Willock being there, I think Joe Linton wouldn't necessarily be as effective if he had somebody else there on the left. But with them two together, I think that's
Exactly.
where it brings the best out of Joe Linton in that particular position. I think it's a good change for Joe Linton as well to get out of the midfield, being sat in there and just being a bit more forward and a bit more fluid.
Well, he's
Yeah,
not the
man.
technical one, is he? J7
Exactly.
is
Exactly.
he's more of the general. He's the one who will stop the opposition from playing, give the simple ball, and then just go on one of his runs. I
Yeah.
think the beauty of him being up there, if you have a look yesterday, he's the one that triggers the press. He's the one that wants to get going, and it seems to wave through the team. From his start, it's just like a
Infectious. Yeah.
crescendo. Yeah, absolutely. So I think his energy going up there will spoil it a little bit for Arsenal trying to play at the back. But
I
again,
agree.
we've got to stop the block in the passing channels. If we to stop Arsenal from progressing, we have to get the passing channels right, because unfortunately they are a bit more on the ball than we are in certain areas. But I think,
Therefore,
like I say, when it comes to the midfield, if that is our starting midfield, I can't wait for the game because it's going to be one hell of a battle.
do you think we
Yeah.
were pressed though? Do you think you see how we've been? Because like that's been missing for a while with Newcastle, like of recent. So, and I see the pressing against Chelsea
Well,
yesterday,
if you think,
collectively from the
yeah,
front
yeah,
as well. Do
absolutely.
you
But
think? Do you think we should do
Man
that though? It's
City,
Arsenal.
well,
Think?
you look at the games that we've played at home. We've played Spurs at home and we sat back and allowed
Yeah,
the pressure just to
yeah,
get set off and then hit them on the break. We've done it against Man
Well,
City. Do we go into the same tactic against Arsenal? I would imagine
mm,
you'll get a 50-50. I think you'll find there'll be times where they'll go for the press, and it may be in the first 20 minutes, like you've seen against Chelsea
yeah.
last night, and then they'll sit off, because obviously you can only do that for so many minutes before you need a
That's true.
breather. So
Mm.
I
um,
think you'll find it'll be quick pace because it's at home, and they'll try and get under the skin a little bit, try and get the goal, and then it'll be a case of right there. Let's see what you've got.
are
Okay.
you? Let me, Lee. Are you dangerous on the counter attack?
Yeah, we can be.
Yeah, you were
We
say
can be.
that
Yeah,
ball over the top for Saka against Liverpool
And
was
that's the
yeah,
awesome.
and that's
can
the
be.
problem though. And that's the problem. You're gonna have to play real good defensively if you're gonna press high like that. Because if they get
Uh,
Yeah.
space,
we
If you
like
get it
to.
right, Chris, you have to get it right collectively.
yeah,
We're not more. We're not so like counter attack, but like we like to beat the press. If we can, beat your press, then we've got players then that are capable of doing things like So
yeah.
uh, yeah, that'd be interesting if you do go for it. I think that it'd be a cagey sort of a game. If I'll be honest, I think that we won't go gun home and press you. I think we probably might just sit back and see what you've got. Because I
Mm.
think if you look back at the Tottenham game, it pains me to say it, that they was a much better side, but you picked them off. Is that a bad tactic or not? Then I don't know. You won the game, so um, I
Every
think if
team
you
we've dominated this season, Lee, to be fair, sorry for butting in, my friend.
no,
Every game we have literally dominated. Everton, Brighton, absolutely took them off the park, apart from hitting the onion sack.
yeah,
Possessions 9/10 of the law, mate. Unless you hit
yeah,
the
yeah,
onion sack, it means
I
absolutely
agree.
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, and it's about results at the end of the day, and I think that I think maybe the tactic maybe just to try and catch us out. We're trying to dominate the ball, but I think that if a little bit like Liverpool did on Sunday, like we got exposed by just going a little bit too forward,
Too
too
forward.
much. Yeah, so I think that that's something that Newcastle might want to exploit. Be really interesting because I think that the one thing I've always found with the Geordie fans is that if they're at home, they expect a little bit more of a going for it than
5%.
away from home.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, so
Absolutely.
the crowd will be right up for it. And listen, it's always a good atmosphere there. And I don't know, like the 12 games are always a little bit different
Yeah.
atmosphere
No,
wise
there's
to
Take a
always
the
while to
yeah.
get going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's
It
because
saps the atmosphere, mate, doesn't it, really?
yeah,
Um,
everybody
I,
gets
I-
up
what-
early.
One thing I was going to ask you, Lee, when you look at obviously Arsenal, are you worried about cards in tomorrow's in Saturday's game? Because obviously discipline's been a little bit on the one sided, mate, isn't it? You've suffered with a couple of red cards
Yeah,
already.
yeah, and this is always a feisty game. To be fair, there's
It
always been
has
a little bit of
Yeah,
always.
a
it has been.
feisty thing. So yeah, I think that you got to be aware of it. Listen, I just think refs are not very good, so don't give them the opportunity. I think that
Absolutely not. I
that's
don't know
the
who the
thing.
ref is. Do you know anybody seen who the ref is this weekend?
No,
I could
Not a
probably try
clue.
to look up. We got John Brooks.
John Brooks.
right, okay. So listen, they're not very good, are they? The
No.
referees, you know
They're
what I
all,
mean?
they're all the
So
same, man. They're all the same.
Well,
they're all
the
the
thing
same.
about the thing about that is interesting because last season when we played St James's Park, the famous it was the ball went out, whatever. Um, I I thought because I was doing the commentary for neutral channel, obviously. So I said Arsenal. The worst thing they can do playing at St James's Park is you know trying to get the crowd against them early. go into the ground quick and instigate the crowd
Right,
because
Havertz made that tackle, didn't he?
yeah, and then I don't know if there was a couple of hand signals to the crowd. And I thought that wasn't going to be that wasn't a smart move on Arsenal's behalf. Now, look, at the end of the day, you got to play football, so it is what it is. But
Yeah, I think you're right. I think one of the good things about Newcastle is the atmosphere, and it's it is a proper atmosphere. But you can turn the Geordie fans. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like that is something that you can do.
yeah,
So try and silence them and get them riled up in a different way, sort of thing. Like, you know what I mean? But and I think that this season, last season, he was much in a better place than what you are this season. So it'd be really interesting to see what the reaction is of the crowd if we start getting on top and dominating. Will they turn? I don't mean say turn in a nasty way. I don't mean that, but you know what I mean. That they can be a little
hmm
bit like get very frustrated very very quickly, like So
yep,
and we
uh,
need to do that
As a club,
as the away side. We need to
yeah, yeah.
stifle that and keep that atmosphere quiet,
yeah,
I
it
hear
can
you.
happen. A few insights from these two teams. Newcastle have scored 4 goals in their last 5 matches. Newcastle United and Arsenal have not drawn any of their last 3 games against each other. That's interesting. Nick Pope is ranked third in ranked 3 in saves per match in the competition. Well, that's not. And then Arsenal have scored 9 goals in their last 5 matches. So you guys obviously are scoring quite a bit. Rank 3 at home this season, but we're not going to play there yet. Obviously, when we go there, that's it's night and day. We probably
Straight loss. Straight
It's,
loss.
it's a different story,
so
bro. It's a different
exactly,
story.
exactly. And so and then
Keep it real.
and Bukayo Saka is ranked 1 in big chances created this competition with 12. So Bukayo Saka for us is somebody to stop, fellas. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you stop a guy like that? I mean, Lee, what do you think is his weaknesses at this point?
Oh, I don't think he has got any weaknesses. I think
Well, there you go.
that
I
he's
could name
got
you one,
bigger.
Lee.
I think he's got bigger. I think that if you go one, like, Liverpool went 1-1 with him. They said right, we're back there, and he got ripped apart. Other teams have always played 2 up against him. So it'd be interesting what Newcastle do. Listen, on his day, he's devastating, but it's not just that. If he's not having a great day, he still can produce something at any time, So listen, we're very very fortunate to have him. I think he's that good. I really do think that he is one of
Am
the
I
best.
am I right in saying that we're at home? We're generally quite good against him. I don't really recall him really
Yeah, I don't think
bossing
he's
it at
scored
St
that.
James's.
Yeah, I don't think he's been as. Listen. As I said earlier on, Newcastle is not the easiest place. It's not one of our great. Christ, we was 4-0 up there one time and didn't win. So
Come on,
it's not.
Lee.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's not the
Classic.
easiest place to go.
That was a classic.
And at
Classic.
the end of it, we when we have one up there, it's never been. It's not been like by a landslide go 1-2-0, maybe at the best 2-1. It's a tough place to go. So you know, yeah, and
You've not
Newcastle have
really
kept
done.
him quiet.
You've not really done well away from home, though, have you, mate? This season, is it 1-2, drawed 1, lost 1, 5 and
Yeah,
4 goals? You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying on that, but those away games have been Aston Villa away, Tottenham away, Man City away,
yeah.
Bournemouth
So
away.
teams like us,
Well,
then,
that's
is that
Aston
what you're
Villa
trying
you
to
beat
say?
though.
So
That's,
yeah, we beat Villa, we beat
yeah,
Spurs,
Villa.
which is like not easy there
No.
for us. It's even harder than probably other teams. Villa
Well,
have only lost a couple of games this season, so um, funny enough, I think the games that Villa have lost have been at home. So it's tough if we can get through. Like Newcastle and
look at that.
Chelsea, realistically, if you look at it from then, you've played like Newcastle, Chelsea away. Say if we had won them, and then you played Villa away, Tottenham away,
Yeah.
Man City away. It doesn't look as bad as what it does. So
Yeah.
um, it's going to be really hard, guys. Listen,
Oh,
I'm going to have to. My battery is going to go any second. So if
yep.
I do,
Yeah,
I'm all right at the moment, but
no worries. What is your First of all, let me get your prediction before your camera dies out. And what's your prediction for this weekend?
I'm going to back my team. So like up you lot. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Arsenal.
2-1 to Arsenal. Now,
Hmm.
I have something right now. Let me see, because it is Halloween night, and I do have I'm a jokester, man. I'm telling you. So it was quick actually. I didn't know Lee was going to join in. He sent me a message. I'm good right now till 11, and so I was like, okay, let's get it together. We got the thumbnail ready and everything, and then something came up on my feed, and I want you to explain this, man. What's going on here? Let's take a listen and look.
I can't hear it, Chris.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No,
No,
I
no.
can't hear
bro.
it, buddy.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Let me put it back up. Let me
What's
work
going on there?
because I don't know.
I thought he was going to start doing a book, a film,
What's going on?
play.
Let me see. Because
By the time
it
you
is
fix it,
Halloween.
you better be dead.
I know, man. I'm trying to. Unbelievable. Let me see. Let me see if we can. Can you hear that? Hold on. Can you hear that?
No.
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 Same
What the
thing,
hell is
bro.
wrong with TikTok, man? TikTok doesn't want to let us have the audio. What's going on? Let me actually. Don't talk. Let me see if you can hear the audio now. Oh wait, not. There you go. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I fucking can't do it.
I can.
No.
You cannot.
Yeah,
Nah,
we
nah,
can do it.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
All right, let's go now. So don't talk because you will echo. All right.
You can do it, you can do it. If Cecil can do it, you definitely can do it.
What does that mean?
I said what I mean.
I can't do it.
You can do it.
I
You can do it.
You can't do it. Hey,
That
do
could be
it.
a fucking spider in
You
here or
can
anything.
do it.
No.
You can do it. Whatever it is, you can do
No.
it. Yes.
Just be
There's
careful.
no such thing as
just
can't.
Just take your hand. Do it slowly, though, Lee. Don't do it.
No,
I can't
just
do it.
do
I
it.
cannot
just
do it.
do it.
Honestly,
This is a
You
Nike
can
campaign.
do it.
No, it's
You
not
can
just
do it.
You can't.
No, you can do it. You can do it. We'll lose. You can do it.
I'm out.
Everyone's watching. You're not out.
I'm out.
Do not
I'm
give
out.
up.
I am
Do not
out.
give up.
I can't do it.
Do not
If that is
give
a
up.
spider in
It's
here,
only like this size.
He's winding you up.
No.
He's
No,
winding you up. You've seen there's been a teddy bear and a microphone.
Oh,
Yes, but it's
It's a teddy bear and a microphone.
Julius,
How bad
I'm
can it
telling
be?
you, when he puts his hand in, he finds out what it is.
Don't wind him up. Do not wind him up. You can do it.
It's on your head then. All right, go on.
You can do it.
For the
You
content.
can do it.
I can't
You
fucking
can do it.
No, because
You
if
can
it's a
do
spider, I
no,
can't do
no,
it.
you can do it. You can do it.
Thank you very much.
No,
but,
you can
no.
do it.
All right, it's it.
Nah,
It's
No,
it's forfeit.
Pathetic.
Oh my goodness, Lee, man, it's Halloween, man. You're supposed to participate.
Yeah, listen. I honestly thought like they was mentioning all week that there was a tarantula and all that. Like, and the production bloke Ryan was on the phone going like, "So can you get this tarantula and all that?" Like, and I just like that. It was a bloody stuffed pussycat, like it weren't even nothing to worry about.
I don't
But
blame you,
I
bro.
can't
I don't
stand
blame you.
spiders. I'm
They,
petrified of spiders, and I
they don't
thought it was
pay
going
you
to be
enough
a
to do that,
spider.
man. They don't pay you enough to do
I
that.
don't
Yeah.
blame you, bro.
Exactly right. They don't pay me enough to do that, and that's what I said. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, look, man. We're also going to the end of the show, so it's been lovely having you on, Lee. Thank you so much for
No worries,
joining us,
guys.
mate.
Take care. Lovely to join you, and I would
Cheers,
say
man.
good luck Sunday, but I
Of course.
can't. Saturday, but I can't.
Are you going to the game or no?
Yeah. I've got travelling up tomorrow, and
Yeah.
night in Newcastle, which is always good, and
Yeah.
then the game on Saturday, like So, any of you
Enjoy.
guys going to the game or?
Well,
I've
no,
just-
I'm in the
I've
US,
just
so
got
I know
back.
you guys in London.
It's
We
like-
usually have our another one of our lads, Mighty Win. He's definitely a season ticket holder, so he goes all the time. But,
Okay, cool. Right.
but yeah.
So,
Yeah, I tried to get
so-
tickets for this one. Couldn't get tickets.
Yeah.
for this one.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's always
Rocking
a
horse
great.
crew, man.
It's always a great occasion going to St James's Park.
It is.
Of course.
These are,
And,
in the queue, Lee. Let me just tell you, we're in the ballot. I've joined a little syndicate now, type of thing. But before I was in a ballot, there was 65,000 in the queue looking for one ticket.
Wow.
65,000, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they keep telling us we won't sell out a 70,000 crowd. And like
Yeah,
I
we
say,
need we
there's
need
people.
Newcastle always sell out, and I'm not saying it because
It's
I'm
crazy, mate.
Newcastle fan. One of the best supporting fans in I've ever experienced.
Thank
You
you,
know what
mate.
I mean? So
There you go. We're proper.
Cheers, mate.
home and away, unbelievable. Like, and I will say this: very very friendly, whether you win, lose or draw. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get frustrated like any other fan, mate, but we take
yeah,
it on the chin.
but you know your football up there, guys, and you know I always wish Newcastle well. Like, and my favourite programme was RV the Same Pet, so
Auf Wiedersehen.
it'll always be like, you know.
I can't remember that boy. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I know,
You go outside.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
Biker
you
Grove,
know.
innit? But I don't know about
Yeah.
Biker Grove, maybe, but I can't go. Yeah, I don't know about.
All right, folks. Well,
Big up
listen,
to
we've
you.
had
Cheers,
it.
guys. Take care anyway. Like, yeah,
Take care, mate.
See
Cheers,
you,
mate.
Lee. Take
Have a
care,
good one.
mate.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Well, you know, that was Lee right there. Great stuff, of course, legend. And of course, you know, you see him everywhere. If you're an Arsenal fan, or if he's against you, you know, he's gonna banter you. So great stuff. Before we finish, though, we had we do got a little you know, the former players. So players that have played for Arsenal and Newcastle. There's a few. That's a few.
Willock.
Well, Willock
Willock,
certainly.
I'm going to say.
So yeah, that is right.
Campbell.
But Sol Campbell.
yeah.
Sol Campbell,
Sol Campbell. What about Matteo Debuchy?
Debuchy.
Debuchy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Raw, forgot about that. Oh,
What about
Moreno?
Isaac Hayden?
True, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now where did his career go, man? Unbelievable. Mikel Marino. Nobody said Mikel
Yeah.
Marino. He's
I just said
literally
Moreno.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I hear that. Yeah, Marino. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And that's all I got. But surely there's been more.
Can't think of any more.
Bloody no, but I can't.
Yeah, I can't.
Can't remember, but surely Kenny Sansom?
Samson.
Well, Kenny Sampson. Did he play for us?
I can't remember.
I didn't know.
I think, is it?
Yeah, well,
Kenny Sampson played for us.
guess he did.
I can't remember he played for us.
No. All right. Well, you know, it's been a lovely night, a Halloween night.
Chris, can I ask you a question before we go?
Yeah, go on.
You put a poll up yesterday. Who was man of the match? What did the fans say? Can you remember?
Oh man, you know, see, I forget it sometimes, the polls that I put up, but Tonali was winning it last time I remember.
Right.
But there was a surprise that was coming up as well. A lot of people were voting for maybe. Who did we
Kelly.
have? We had
Because you had Kraft, Kelly, J7, and Tonali.
Kraft was
was the
surprising
four,
me
wasn't it?
because Kraft was surprising me.
He played very well.
Kraft was nice. Kraft
Because
was nice.
he was getting a lot of votes. Kraft.
Quick question, right?
Yeah, go.
Quick question,
Go on,
right?
Tim.
Who would you go for centre back? Because Kelly is perfect for the pace. If we're going to press Arsenal for the first 20 minutes, we want to stop them breaking. So he's perfect for that. He played brilliantly.
Burn for the aerial
Arsenal
threat.
physicality, exactly. So
Yeah.
do you bring Burn back in for the set pieces?
I think
Burns can't come back in this game.
I think he does.
I'll be stunned, bro.
Arsenal are the biggest threat from set pieces, especially at corners. So
I'll risk that,
need
you know,
to have
D-man. D-man, I'll risk that. Burns, but he's got no agility. Just, bruv, can you imagine him and Shea? Oh,
Well,
bro,
well,
I
you
think
know,
it's him, man.
Calling myself probably, but
we
it's
got
difficult, like.
I'm scared, man.
We got to admit
a
though,
good
when Byrne came in, it was night and day. It's like it's like singing after Sinatra,
Then it costs us a
dancing
It
after
was.
Michael Jackson.
Then it costs us a
But
goal.
Chelsea are a different proposition. Chelsea don't pose any aerial threat. Arsenal, Gabriel from corners alone is
Wait,
is
you
filthy.
want Byrne in, D-man?
No, I'm not saying I want to, but I think that's what Eddie Howe's thinking because
Yeah.
of
But,
the aerial threat that they pose.
yeah, it's a
The
catch for the team, bro.
the pace ain't as much because Havertz not the quickest. Yeah, obviously you got Saka, but you got Kelly, you got Haaland who's got pace. Yeah, and on the other side you could put Livramento. So the centre back pairing, the aerial threat, Shear's not the greatest in the air. Dan Burn 6'8", he needs to be. So
I
you need
agree with that
somebody.
part.
Listen, you're going to lose Hall for Dan Burn left back at this rate if you carry on.
Yeah,
And the cover. I remember there's times here when our fullbacks go so far up. Sometimes we need Burns or shit to cover. Have you seen recently as well?
Yeah.
And it ain't gone so great. Plus, D-man, you got a good point though. but most of the games on the ground, bro. And I'd rather take that. I'll take that risk, bro.
It
I
is.
swear
It is.
down, bro. Scary,
But
bro.
not Arsenal though. Arsenal. Look how many goals they scored from set pieces.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
we can't win
It's,
that. Yeah.
you can't win it. You have to choose
Demarcation,
it.
can't we?
Either way,
But
it's
can we disagree though that we should be building a team around Tonali?
Oh, 100.
Absolutely.
But he's the best player. I've been saying that, man. So I'm glad to see y'all coming around.
Once
Because
I've been saying it for a long time. Listen, once Tonali gets going, and you have Bruno in the 8th position, and maybe Willock or Longstaff on the other side. But I think as long as you've got Tonali dictating play, but don't get me wrong, Saturday will be a true test for him about how good he actually is
right.
in that way. Because I
If they're
cannot
playing that
against
role,
Rice and
if
Partey.
yeah,
I can't see why he doesn't.
yeah, trust
He
me,
can't.
yeah.
I don't see why he doesn't. But I think tonight, and it pains me to say, if Tonali continues to perform and perform how we know we can do in that position, when it comes to the end of the season, we start about balancing the books and PSR and stuff. Don't be surprised if Bruno's the first one to be sold. Yeah,
you play too much, man.
listen. I think it's a distinct possibility.
Bruno's hot and cold for me anyway, so I'm not really. But yeah, but I'll keep him though. I'll be devastated to see him go.
We need to add
That's
players, man, not
scary.
sell players.
Oh yeah. We definitely need them. But if there is one place to go,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So,
But he's on. I think they got to pay 100, don't they? Whoever
Not
gets
now, not now. I don't think now
nah,
that's the
it.
case.
Not anymore.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so. No.
Man,
I think
that's
80 will
crazy.
get him.
Well, what I guess whatever they can agree on, and I think Newcastle should put up a good price for him, but or at least they have to gauge. We're gonna have to get another midfielder. How much are we gonna have to spend on that guy? So, and who could it be? I mean, there are midfielders out there, but who can you get?
More than there are
Yeah.
strikers. More than there are strikers, because strikers coming at premium at the moment. So
Yeah,
you're more likely to replace a Bruno than you are to an Isak.
Yeah,
So
you've
that's
got to
true.
find these players as well, because it's not as if that Bruno was kind of like this player that everybody knew was going to be an amazing Premier League player. Otherwise, the top teams would have got him. So it's up to
true.
us to find another Bruno if we can.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true. Well, we got to be able also to invest in, if you look at it
Add.
that way, on
Mhm.
players that are all over the place though. South America, if Man City, who are literally the kings right now of the Premier League, they can go out there and eye young talent in South America or in Africa or in anywhere that the talents are not known yet, but proven in their respective leagues, or in Brazil, whatever, South America, same thing. You got to be able to do that. Aside from obviously looking at the elite players or whatever, Man City do it. All the Brighton, as much as they don't buy elite players, but they buy a lot of established players in those continents.
Yeah.
You got to be able to do that.
And turn them into potentially elite players or top
If
players. You know what I'm
we
saying?
could, if we would have done that with Caicedo, if we would have done that with McAllister, they would have joined. They would have joined. It's not like they grew up Brighton fans. They just want to come to Europe.
True.
You know what I mean?
But Brighton go by data. Like with Brighton, it's different because I think they kind of set the trend as well a little bit slowly for others. They literally go by the data, bro. Like that's how they
Yeah.
literally analyze in terms of what plays they actually want. I find it
Yeah.
I find it fascinating, but we might have to just take that risk and you know what I mean, and try and see. Well,
you got to be
see what
everywhere.
Mitchell does. Anyway.
You got to put
Mitchell,
your money everywhere.
that's true. That's true. We'll see. Mitchell's there
Yeah.
now, isn't it? So he's gonna see what happens, isn't it?
That's right. All right. Oh, predictions from us. We need predictions. So Gary, you said
2-1
what did you say? 2-1 Arsenal.
Arsenal. Yeah.
A lot of people predicted. I was surprised with your prediction because I didn't think you were going to say that. But
No,
what do you?
I just think at this present moment in time, I still think we are still a little bit unsure, and the pressure's still on us a little bit. I think when you look at where Arsenal dominate the ball, which is our fullbacks, it's going to limit it'll limit our forward play a little bit. So it depends on how we play. If we go and attack them like we get against Chelsea, or whether we sit back and play the low to mid block and try and hit them on the break, depends how we are. So I tossed a coin because I was going to go 2-1 either way, and it fell the other way. So I'm going to go with the coin toss, and it was 2-1 to Arsenal. I do think they will challenge us a lot more than Chelsea did on Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could say that. I went for a 1-1 draw, so maybe that'll be Tim. What do you think?
I'm the same with that. I'd say 1-1. and I'd take that all day long right now.
Me.
Yeah. All right, D-Man.
I'm going to agree with Gary. I think 2-1 Arsenal. I think, we performed well on midweek, but I'm not getting ahead of myself with it. It was Chelsea's B team. I just think, I don't know. I think Eddie's tactics might and his team selection might let us down, but I think it's going to be 2-1 Arsenal.
Hope I'm
All
wrong.
right, Specs.
To be honest, I can just see this game be another controversy. VARs, yellow cards, red cards, fights, scraps. So in saying that, I could possibly see a surprising, maybe a 2-1 win for Newcastle. Why not?
We forgot, man. Malcolm McDonald played for Arsenal.
Oh yeah, Big
Yeah.
Malcolm.
No, I was thinking. I knew there was someone in my head, but I couldn't get his name, so I said, "No, not say anything." But yeah,
Back in the day, back in the
Supermac.
'70s, he left Newcastle
Supermac, yeah.
to go to Arsenal, Supermac. So look at
Because
that.
he's from London originally, innit? So that's why I heard on my live
He-
watch along. Someone
He
told me that.
he's Mandem, man.
Yeah. But he's fully Geordie now, though. He's definitely.
Yeah, he's from Georgia. Yes, he's from London, though.
know.
He is.
Yeah.
And I think somebody else did put a lot of people in there. George Eastham.
Who?
Eastham. I've never heard of that. Well, yeah, but apparently there's more. Andy Cole. Andy Cole.
Yeah, Andy Cole.
Andy Cole. We
Yeah,
never.
yeah.
That's shame on us,
I think
man.
Andy Cole played 3 games for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Played 3 games. Yeah, then he got it's been a bit all pear shaped.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Andy Cole, it's madness. Okay.
All right. So, well, those are predictions. The Specs. What did you say? Prediction?
I said, due to I think there'll be some controversial moments. I think Newcastle might just nick it somehow 2-1.
So you well, that's nice. You calling for a penalty in our favor? Does the rob Arsenal? Well, I like
No,
it.
I want to play fair. I'm not saying, but by any means necessary. But I want the 3 points.
The kids are watching, man. Halloween. The kids are watching. Don't learn from Specs, man. You don't rob.
Them tear flasks coming out now for the Arsenal fans on Sunday
Hopefully
afternoon.
it's not
They'll
an
be sold out in the shops, man.
Oh man.
Hopefully Arteta doesn't start another investigation after the game. You know what I mean?
Press immediately. The next day, Arsenal press release. Click on this link. Statement. Anyways, folks, it's been lovely. It's been great. Thank you so much for everybody coming. Lee, of course, Lee Judges. Link is in this to his channels in the description, but you can obviously watch him on AFTV and all those Arsenal platforms. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Tim, for coming. Thank you, D-Man, for coming. Specs as well. Lovely stuff. We'll be back tomorrow with a quiz night. So, quiz night, man. Challenge your knowledge on Newcastle United tomorrow at 10 p.m. UK. 10 p.m. UK tomorrow, and at midday UK, you guys, Gary and Mighty Wayne, do the breakfast show.
Are any of these guys free? Because I am not available tomorrow.
But tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yeah, I'm on a date.
Okay,
we haven't got the kids.
That's fine. No, well, we'll figure it out. We'll have a quiz night, even if it's just me and the Mighty Win. But if anybody's available, just let me know.
You said you got a date.
Yeah,
man.
I don't dress up like this for nothing, you know, buddy. You know what I mean? She says I need to change it up a little bit. Hey, I'll try anything once, man. Yeah, man. Get the violin.
Sounds creepy, man. Yo. We got to you, Gary, anyway, man.
You got the sound effect. Hey, man, it is what it is. You'll be surprised what a man will do for that, man. I'm telling you. You'll be surprised.
The date night.
That's for the NTTV after hour show.
That's for members only, by the way.
That's for members only, man. The old man don't care.
Just be safe, bro. That's all. You get me?
There you go.
I always wear 2 bags, lad. One for me and one for her.
Fucking up. It's R-rated. Anyway.
Anyways, it's been lovely. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Cheers. We'll see you next week. Peace out.